Hi everyone. So I thought I would challenge myself today and try to do some kind of party, holiday, slightly festive makeup in 10 minutes. I am notoriously slow when it comes to makeup, so for me, 10 minutes is quite a challenge, and it's really, really unusual that I can get ready that quickly. So we're gonna see if I can do it today. So I did help myself out a little bit. I dyed my eyebrows this morning so that, I won't have to do as much to make my eyebrows visible, though I am still gonna do some brow products. I am also helping myself out a little bit in that I'm getting the stuff I'm going to use out of my drawers. But other than that, I'm not really doing any prep. So this is kind of a real life, I just need to get this done, and I'm not going to wash a sponge ahead of time. I'm gonna pick stuff that I can pretty much just grab and use without a bunch of prep work. I already did my skincare, and that alone takes me about 10 minutes in the morning and in the evening. I don't know why. I'm just very slow moving. If there was an animal equivalent, it would be a sloth, because I just move at a different pace than I feel most humans move. So I'm gonna do a little timer on my phone. I want to be confident and say I'm gonna be able to get this done in 10 minutes, but I am rather dubious. But we'll see. I have been doing something similar to this look quite a bit lately, so hopefully I can get it. I don't know. We'll see. 10 minutes. We're starting. Okay. So I'm going to use some clear eye primer, the LORAC Behind the Scenes eye primer, which is what I've been using lately. It's a little thinner than using a concealer and is very good at keeping stuff from creasing on me. I'm going to use a Stila Shimmer Glow in Kitten. This will not budge even if I don't use a primer, but I am going to use some regular eyeshadow. Something in my eye and I can't see. I am going to use just a powder eyeshadow in the crease. So I want that primer to keep the powder eyeshadow in place. And I'm just going to blend out the edges of the Stila with a synthetic brush. This is a Real Techniques like base shadow brush or something. What is this one called? I should not be stopping to look. Base shadow brush. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm just gonna go over top with my like neutral brown shadow. Sometimes I do the crease first and then this, and then go over the crease again. It's like, you know what, I could probably just skip that first step and do the crease after I lay this down. So if you have crepey eyelids, liquid shadows can really accentuate that texture. I feel like these really are pretty good about not making it look too textured, but it is, because it is so metallic and it's a liquid shadow, it is going to kind of show that, but it's not going to be a really extreme, like what we call dragon scale, what I call dragon scale appearance. So I'm going to use the cooler tone transition shade in the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air. Oh my gosh, there is no way I'm going to get this done in 10 minutes. What was I thinking? Well, this will just add a little bit of depth. And again, soften the edge of the liquid shadow. This shadow is quite powdery, so if you dig in there with a brush, it's going to kick up a lot. Tightline, I'm going to use this Tarte Double Take, the mechanical side of this. So this makes it kind of look like you're wearing eyeliner, but without the precision needed for an actual lash line eyeliner. Alright, so I noticed that I had run out of space on my memory card, so I paused my timer at 6 minutes, and I think this confirms that there's no way I'm gonna finish this in time. Holy moly. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm gonna do concealer next. Is it starting? Yes. Okay. The MAC Studio Fix Concealer in NC10. This is just a dry sponge. So I think that will be faster than trying to use my fingers. And then I'm going to use that Hourglass, a small amount, hopefully, of the Hourglass Veil Loose Powder, which has kind of a yellow tone. And that concealer can look a little gray on me. So I think it's kind of it works out pretty well. And assuming my eyes are moisturized enough, it doesn't look too dry and crepey. Powder foundation, I'm going to use this Pony Effect powder foundation in Fair. I'm just going to use the little sponge it comes with because I find that on this one it actually applies quite nicely. The Sephora powder foundation, applying it with a sponge, it just applies too much and it feels, it's really drying feeling. I feel like this one doesn't do that. I mean, it's a little drying feeling, but not as bad. And I feel like it just looks pretty good when applied with a sponge. Availability on this one's a little harder. I actually bought this one off eBay. Yes Style carries it, but the Fair shade had been out of stock for months. Okay, so I'm going to put a little color through my brows with the Tarte Volumizing Brow Powder. Just a little bit, since I already have some staining from where I dyed my brows earlier. I don't know if this is helping or making this worse. Possibly making it worse. Alright, I'm going to put a little blush on. I'm using this Flower Beauty Flower Pots in Peach Primrose, and a very, very fluffy brush, because this is very pigmented. Okay, for a highlight, I'm going to use the Colourpop Luster Dust in Strobe Glow. It's just super, super shiny and reflective, kind of like our eyeshadow. But it's not chunky and glittery. put a little bit of eyeshadow on my lower lash line here. Same transition shade. Mascara, I'm gonna use this It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, which is probably not the best choice because it is pretty clumpy and I usually have to work with it a fair amount. Oh, I hope the timer doesn't go off and scare me half to death. Alright, time's up. So I think what we'll do is just start counting from here and see how long it takes me just to finish up my lips. Alright, that's pretty much good enough. So that was an extra minute 30. I would probably, you know, if I had the time, I would put through a little brow gel. My brows are looking kind of funky here because there's more staining than I had realized when I dyed my eyebrows. So on this brow, especially up at the front, they're looking a little wonky. But I feel like wonky eyebrows are kind of part of my trademark. All right. Oh gosh. So I am going to do my hair and potentially put on something that looks a little more festive than a sweatshirt, and I will be right back. To talk a little bit more about why I picked what I did and what I thought. So I will be back. All right, and I am going to put on a little setting spray, which again takes an extra few seconds, but since I'm looking a little powdery and it will make my highlight pop, I'm gonna do it. This is the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix, and I find that it actually helps with longevity. And it's the only setting spray I think can really conclusively say when my skin is a little more oily that it seemed to actually help. So that's my finished, really quick kind of party makeup. Basically what I was going for was like a really bold lip, really shiny eyes, and easy foundation. So as far as what lip I picked, you know, I wanted to do red. I'm comfortable with the applicator on this liquid lipstick. I know how it wears. I know that it can hold up to like one meal and a dessert, unless it's something like super, super greasy and then it might break down in the middle. I do feel like if you're going somewhere and you're wearing a liquid lipstick like this that is difficult to remove, might as well just bring along the some sort of lip color remover like this Maybelline Superstay Eraser. These two are a good combo to have on you just in case. If you want to reapply, you could always do this. And if you take it off, I would also recommend bringing along a powder foundation, because I have found for me personally, whenever I take a liquid lipstick off, I almost always take off not a huge amount of foundation around my mouth, but a little bit at least. And with the powder foundation, you can just kind of tap over that, fill in the gap a little bit, and put the liquid lipstick back on, or maybe just do a nude lip, whatever. This does stain a little bit, so it leaves my lips looking a little pink after I take it off. One thing to note though about this one is that it does leave your lips feeling a tiny bit sticky, which I know a lot of people don't like, but this does wear very nicely. I feel like the applicator, I can get lip on quickly without too much fuss because it's stiff and pointed, so I can really get my lip line pretty crisp. Not my best effort, but okay. I mean, it's passable. I would leave the house like this, and I feel like that's what's important at this point. If you're just trying to get some like kind of festive makeup that doesn't take forever, and you just want to get out the door, but you also want something kind of impactful. And do you like that my festive clothes consists of red plaid? Because this is most likely what I'm going to wear on Christmas. That's about it. The powder foundation is sitting really weirdly on my nose, which is kind of unfortunate. It's actually like settling into the pores, which is a bummer. I wanted to wear my Sephora powder foundation actually, but it's downstairs. And I knew that this one applied pretty well with a puff. And the undertone on it is a little bit better for me, but overall I prefer the way the Sephora one wears. So if you're looking at the two, I would actually lean towards the Sephora, plus this one has a fragrance to it, and the Sephora one is unscented, fragrance-free, so I appreciate that a lot. And the Sephora one, depending where you are, may be easier to obtain. So I think that's all. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, if you have a look that you are planning on doing for the holidays, New Year's, whatever. I would love to hear from you. And if you have any kind of quick tips or tricks that you like to use to get your makeup done faster, that would also be great to know, because I'm very slow. Very, very slow, obviously. Yeah, so I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.